Does the thought of plotting your story feel like a daunting task? It's a common fear among budding writers, the dread of connecting the dots from the start of your story, through a scattering of cool moments, all the way to that brilliant end you've envisaged. It's an intimidating prospect, isn't it? But here's the silver lining. Not every inch of your narrative needs to be packed with high-octane, cool moments. There's a need for downtime, a lull in the action, a breather for your characters, and more importantly, for your readers. These quieter moments are your golden opportunity to stitch together the key plot points, to weave in the subtler threads of your story. This is a crucial secret to successful plotting, particularly in the realm of fantasy. So take a deep breath, and let's dive into it. Remember, the secret to plotting, especially in fantasy, is to glue the big plot points together. Ever wondered what makes a fantasy great? It's the stuff in between. You see, the heart of a story lies not just in the major plot points, but also in the spaces that connect these points. In fact, these so-called in-betweens are the unsung heroes of storytelling. They may not always shine in the limelight, but they play a pivotal role in shaping your narrative. Imagine the major plot points as stars in the night sky. They're bright, they're beautiful, they captivate attention. But what would a sky be without the vast, encompassing darkness? Just a handful of isolated, twinkling dots. The in-betweens are like this infinite darkness, wrapping around each star to create a constellation, a complete, coherent story. These lesser-known plot points, the in-betweens, are what distinguish great fantasy from mediocre. They create the room for your characters to interact with the world you've built, to show their quirks, their fears, their desires. It's during these moments that your characters have conversations, make choices, and reveal their true selves. These are the moments that give depth to your characters, that make them feel real, relatable. They're the ones that allow your readers to form a bond with your characters, to root for them, to feel their joys and their pains. But here's the thing. These moments need not be grand or dramatic. They can be as simple as a shared laugh, a quiet reflection, a lingering glance. These are the moments that, while may not be as memorable as the major plot points, are equally important. Why, you ask? Because a story that leaps from one major plot point to another can feel rushed, leaving the reader breathless, overwhelmed. The smaller points, the in-betweens, give the reader a break, a chance to digest the events, to understand the characters better. They allow the story to breathe, to ebb and flow, creating a rhythm that is both engaging and satisfying. So, next time you're plotting your story, remember to not just focus on the major plot points. Give due importance to the in-betweens, the moments that truly make your story come alive. A story that leaps from major plot point to major plot point can feel rushed. The small points give the reader a break. If you're looking for a specific guide for plotting, let's dive into the hero's journey. In Act 1, we meet the characters and introduce the conflict. This act is usually lower in energy, interspersed with some flashy moments to grab the audience's attention. It's a chance to let your characters breathe and your readers become invested in them. Then, we break into Act 2. This is where the journey truly begins, and it often kicks off with a bang. Here, you place your first significant plot point, a moment that propels your characters out of their comfort zones and into the thick of the story. Act 2 is about trials. It's a series of smaller-scale conflicts that allow the character to adjust to the world of adventure. These trials test your characters, push them to their limits, and help them grow. Next, we hit the midpoint climax. After facing the trials, the characters are tested. This is your highest stake moment yet, a make-or-break point that determines the path of the rest of your story. Then we come to Act 3, the breather. After such a dramatic climax, the story slows down a bit. It's here that we take time to explore the characters, their dynamics, and the world they inhabit. It's an opportunity to deepen the reader's connection to the characters and their journey. As we break into Act 4, another large event happens, often making it seem that all is lost. But our characters will pull it together for the final push to victory. Finally, Act 4 brings us to the climax. The characters face and overcome the antagonistic forces. The climax is the highest point of tension, an explosion of action and emotion that resolves the main conflict of the story. That's a quick and dirty guide to the hero's journey structure. But remember, the key to a good plot is balance. It's about crafting a blend of high-stakes moments, quieter interludes, and everything in between. The hero's journey is just one way to structure your story. Remember, the key to a good plot is balance. Plotting isn't about constant excitement, it's about balance. Often, as we weave our stories, we tend to focus on the high energy points, the climaxes, the dramatic twists and turns. But a story is more than just its peaks. It also includes the valleys, the quiet moments, the breaths taken in between. Think of your story as a jagged line, not a smooth, rising curve. It has its sharp points, where the drama swells and the tension is palpable. These are your plot peaks, the moments your readers will hold their breath for. But it also has its dips, where the line descends, where the story contracts and the drama relaxes. These are equally important. These are your plot valleys. Just as we, as humans, need to inhale and exhale, your story needs to do the same. It needs to expand with tension, then contract with release. It needs to inhale with conflict, then exhale with resolution. These quiet moments, these plot valleys, are not just fillers. They are opportunities to delve deeper into your characters, to explore their reactions and emotions, to show them interacting with the world you've built. They are your chance to make your readers care about your characters, to make them invested in their journey. And remember, too much of anything can be overwhelming. An unending string of high-tension moments can exhaust your readers. They need the valleys as much as they need the peaks. They need the respite, the moment to catch their breath, to process what's happened, and prepare for what's to come. So don't shy away from the quiet moments, embrace them, use them to your advantage. Create a balance between the high-energy and low-energy moments in your story. Make your story a jagged line, a series of peaks and valleys, of inhales and exhales. Remember, your story needs to breathe. Don't rush from one major plot point to another. Let's quickly recap what we've learned about plotting. Plunge headfirst into the world of plotting, a realm that can be daunting for even the most seasoned writers. Yet, it's not an insurmountable hurdle. Plotting is simply a series of events strung together, creating the beautiful tapestry we call a story. We've discussed numerous plot structures, such as the hero's journey and the three-act structure, among others. And while these are fantastic guides, they're not rules set in stone. Feel free to experiment, to mix and match, to create a plot structure that's uniquely yours. One of the most crucial elements we've highlighted is the importance of smaller plot points. These are the bridges that connect your major plot milestones, and they are often the understated heroes of your narrative. They might not be as memorable or as flashy as your grand plot twists, but they are by no means less important. These smaller plot points provide the necessary downtime, the moments of respite that prevent your story from becoming a relentless, exhausting sprint from one major event to another. They also offer opportunities for your characters to interact with your world, to reveal their personalities, their dreams, and their fears. So never underestimate these moments. They are the undercurrents that keep your narrative flowing smoothly, the glue that holds your story together. We also delved into the hero's journey, a tried and true plot structure that has been the backbone of countless stories. We dissected it into 4 main acts, each with its unique role and energy. Remember, the key lies in the balance of these acts. Too much excitement can be just as detrimental as too little. Act 1 introduces your characters and the conflict they face. Act 2 is where the journey truly begins, propelling your characters into a series of trials that test their mettle. The midpoint climax is the highest stake moment yet, a turning point that changes everything. Act 3, the breather, is where your story slows down, allowing your characters and your readers to catch their breath. This is followed by Act 4, wherein another significant event occurs, often making it seem like all is lost. Yet, your characters rally, making one final push towards victory. The balance of these acts, the interplay of tension and relief, of action and rest, is what makes a story truly riveting. It's a delicate dance, a give and take that keeps your readers on their toes, always guessing, always eager to turn the page. Don't be afraid of plotting. It's all about connecting the dots and remembering to let your story breathe. Happy writing.